Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is the Q&A live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's all of you here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel right here, Fantasy Pros MLB. That's right, we've got some afternoon baseball going on. Some things got fun for the Guardians. Big home run there from, I think it was Martinez, and then on top of which you had a big day from Jose Ramirez. The 4-4 tie, Red Sox and Brewers. That one's heating up. Freddie Peralta in just 5 innings again. Can I get a 6-inning start? Please, Freddie Peralta. That's all I want for Christmas is a 5-inning start. And Welsh, it's a perfect time to sit around, watch some baseball, and talk some baseball as well, including Ronel Blanco. I just saw out for the year with Tommy John. Another huge blow to that Houston rotation.
He gone. We got Paul Skeens pitching right now against my Arizona Diamondbacks. And best bet of the day was the Pittsburgh Pirates up through the first 5, and it was almost even money. It is currently winning right now. We'll see if it holds through, but a lot of day baseball, and you guys don't even know behind the scenes. Those like waiver and trade videos we do, there has been some curses we've had. We like Eduardo Rodriguez. We're like, should we talk about him? And then he gets blown up. Ronel Blanco, he's gone. So we will let you guys know all the players are going to be hurt by us wanting to talk about them.
That's not true, because sometimes they've been good too.
Sometimes
we can't, because look, we talked about buying Reynolds and he was 4 for 4. The week before that, we talked about Lawrence Butler. He's turned things around. It's
not all of them. It's not all of them.
There's a percentage. Mav is right here, or Mavwag, whatever. McCullers did pop off today. Huge performance from McCullers. Does this change your opinion at all of Lance, especially now that there's an opening all year in the rotation?
There is going to be 18 swing and whiffs. 18 whiffs on that one. Yeah, you know what? Hand up. I was pretty disinterested in Lance McCullers, mainly because of the injuries. Like, his favorite thing to do is throw a fastball.
10 walks in 12 innings, let's be honest.
Yeah, he does that. His 3 favorite things: throw a fastball, which he actually didn't really do a lot of. He throws a sinker, a slider, and then get hurt. Those are, and maybe he likes to, have a Pepsi or something. I don't know. But his favorite thing is to get hurt amongst throwing some pitches. But right now, he looks like old vintage. It's slider, sinker. His curve is ridiculous. Today alone, he had 10 whiffs on that curve, a 59% CSW percentage, which is absolutely absurd. A's got, they got some swing and miss in their game here. But yeah, hat tip and hand up to being pretty disinterested in him. He went 6. He struck out 12, gave up almost no hard hits. We got to be back in the Lance McCullers business, until he gets hurt.
Smell that, Welsh? It smells like overpaying on the waiver wire this Sunday. That's what it smells like for Lance McCullers. It's going to happen. Not necessarily to you or me.
I might do it.
It's going to happen for a couple people there. Michael Jansen, let's get to his question. It's a super chat. CBS Dynasty. I have Elly at 20, Pena and Wilson $8 each. Which one would be the trade to improve my pitching? Interesting here. Well, I'm not trading Elly at 20. That's too good of a value going into next year. Wilson is a nice contact hitter.
Wilson?
I would trade whoever between Wilson and Payne. You got you more. At that point, that's the answer, right?
I kind of assume when you say CBS, it's going to be a points league. And if it's a points league, Jacob Wilson is really valuable. So he might bring you a haul back.
That's the one. He's valuable as long as
he also doesn't strike out at all.
True. That's fair.
That's the weirdness about him.
For power either.
Yeah, but then he hits lots of hits. He's a weird guy. Pena and Jacob Wilson, you should put out into the market. You'll get more for Elly, assuming it's a points league, Michael. I kind of assume Jacob Wilson is going to be the target. And then, he said correct. It's a 14-team points league. Pena, I would like to, but I think Jacob Wilson can probably get a whole nother scope of a player over Jeremy Pena. So, start there. Start with him.
And also, be like Michael, super chat us, and we can get your question right to the front of the queue. So if you don't have a lot of time, or you just don't want to wait for an answer because you need it now.
Or you want to make sure you get it.
Make sure. That's right. Super chat us right now. We appreciate you supporting the channel here. Let's get to Gene's question, friend of the show. Starting to lose patience on Sandy. Starting? My patience died 3 weeks ago. Taj, Keller, McCullers are available. Roto, who should I pick up? Or do I hold Sandy? So basically, if we're dropping Sandy straight up for one of these,
by the way,
I think Welsh is going to say Taj.
Look at that picture of Gene. This is very professional. Is that like a Coyotes jersey? It's a very good photo there.
This is a picture. I want to say Gene is obviously in some sort of athletic department. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
like
thinking.
it looks like there's like a bird and a stick, something along those lines. Very good photo, Gene. I just want to say, very photogenic.
A bird and a stick.
Bird,
Yes.
stick, and that's why I was thinking
Gene
that.
is a let's see. I'm guessing Gene. I want to say he's a running back coach at Division II college. That's what he looks like in this picture.
Well, the logo
This is
looks a
funny.
little baseballish to me, so
You think it's
I'm
a
gonna.
baseball one?
I just think it looks a little
Maybe.
baseballish, but I'm gonna
Okay.
go with a catching coach.
But Gene looks
Or-
pretty. Gene
Yeah,
looks like
looks
he's
like a
hitting
catcher.
The reps
Gene,
with
let
me
us
at the
know.
gym.
All right,
Gene,
so
let us know what you do. Again, unless you're like Batman, you can't. Like I understand.
oh, like a secret identity and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
like-
sure. Okay, we haven't had the. We haven't had the Sandy. Sandy actually is going to start off here in about 3 minutes. So before you make any move, I would just say like hold and just make sure this is going to be a bad Sandy version because Sandy's got a matchup today. It's the Padres, and if he deals, you're not going to want any one of these guys.
Yeah, but what McCullers is like, if you're in a league where it's rolling, you could pick guys up anytime. Like right now, I don't. Normally they lock a game time, like because otherwise McCullers in a huge outing, like that's the one. Like he might be gone in the next 2 hours if it's rolling waivers like that.
Yeah,
So-
but he couldn't be picked up because he just pitched, so you'd have to wait until
Again,
tomorrow.
it depends on the rules of the league. Typically, yes, you're right. Typically, it's going to be tomorrow. So at least you're right. You're going to get that start from Sandy Alcantara. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
So,
If I
depending on
do
how
it,
Sandy does.
if I did it, I would go with I think I'd go with McCullers right now. Taj and Mitch Keller, they're kind of similar. I think Taj is still has a lot left in the tank to like be a really good pitcher, but he just isn't putting those pieces together. If Lance McCullers is healthy, his stuff is back. Huge whiff stuff. He wasn't giving up hard hit balls. The pitch mix looks good. Like, okay, I'm sold. I'm back in. And if he's going to stay healthy on the Astros, I'll take him for sure.
All right. I probably lean towards Taj, but I'm fine with McCullers also. All right. Let's get to another super chat from Thunderstud. Drop Henderson for Horton, 16-team dynasty. I like Henderson more than Horton as a pitcher. That's just me. I watched them both more than once. I'm a Henderson guy. Welsh, you're a Horton guy?
I've got Horton a little bit ahead of him in my prospect ranks because they're both prospect eligible, a little bit more in the dynasty. I'd go with Cade Horton here.
All right, you see how we went right to the front, everybody? That's what you want to do. You want to be like the cool kids. Keith Santiago. Should I trade William Contreras and Ben Rice for a big name player? I don't know if you could do that. I already have Ivan Herrera and Nick Kurtz to take their spots. Well, you might not have Nick Kurtz for a couple weeks, plural. So understand that. This whole like, oh, he's on the IL retroactive. Listen, it's a hip flexor. That's not a 2-day injury. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to take a little while here.
Yeah.
Ben Rice and William Contreras, the only thing I could think of, Welsh, is you're going to buy low on a superstar who's really hit rock bottom.
Wow.
But I just don't know if that's enough for any of
Like
those two.
superstar. I'm not sure what that looks like.
Big name player is what he said. But
You know what I was thinking? I kind of think you could maybe just move Contreras, and I could be wrong about this, pending the trade, but I feel like you might not need Ben Rice in that trade to make the move. Like maybe if it's a big name player, but I feel like the type of person that's going to be in it, William Contreras is what this deal is all about. Ben Rice is the extra piece for them. Maybe you could just try to get something done with Contreras because also, Nick Kurtz is picking it up, but he wasn't locked in. I think Ben Rice has another gear coming up. I'm totally with you moving off of William Contreras. What I would do is I would see what William Contreras trades look like alone. Put him out there, see what the bites are, and then if you need to, because the offer's so nice, use Ben Rice as a sweetener, but maybe try not to move him. That's how I would approach the trade.
he's like a Splenda, is what you're saying. Junior
Yeah.
Caminero hit another
Splenda's
home run
not good
today.
for you.
Is that a player that intrigues you?
But see, I think you could maybe like trade Contreras for Caminero close to straight up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't know if you put the two of them together, you're going to get Vlad or Lindor. Like I'm trying to look at guys with
No, I don't think
OPSs
so.
under 800 that are quote unquote big name guys, and I don't see any of the guys.
How about this?
I don't think Gunnar Henderson's been bad. I don't know if people soured that much. I doubt it.
I got one for you. What about Jazz?
Okay.
Jazz is recouping back in Double A. I think he's more talented. You think it's too much to give up for Jazz?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I would do that. I would do that trade for Jazz if that's a type of play. That's like the bottom.
Jazz was
I don't
like
think you should go
200.
much less than that.
Keith Santiago, Jordan, Byron Buxton, Kyle Stowers, and Austin Hayes. Here's all my hurt guys. I can only keep 2 or keep 3, drop Brendan Donovan, and have to forget backups. Just be great, first of all. So, yes, keep 3. So, who's the odd man out? You can't keep all of them, let's say, when they're all active and playing.
By the way, is this the same guy or is this like his brother? Is there another Santiago?
I don't know. It could.
There were two Santiagos, which Spanish
is...
for Wales. That's what I thought when you said it. Because you said his name very specifically twice. And
I don't know,
like,
but we're just helping Keith out. It's just all about Keith today.
Yeah, he didn't even super chat.
Q&A.
All right, so you can only keep 2 or keep 3. So I like Brendan Donovan. You're obviously keeping Alvarez. So Alvarez really isn't part of the question here.
I'm keeping Buxton too, and I'd rather have Stowers than Donovan. Sorry, like Stowers has been solid.
I'm a little torn on the Stowers versus Buxton thing. You know what? I think I'm gonna go Stowers. I'm gonna go Stowers.
Okay. So you're gonna drop Buxton?
Yeah.
Damn,
Bye.
girl.
Peace
Damn.
out.
All right,
Peace,
more
homie.
super chats flying into the. I love this. I love the super chats. Let's go. It's a big one too. Look at that. $5. What's the strategy on the keepers? We get 3 for 12-team roto. Do you go starting pitching or batters, or do you take upside guys like Strider, Ohtani for next year? Or look, you want Strider, Ohtani. You want all as many stars you can have in keeper leagues. Okay. When you get 3, you want the best 3 players you can possibly have. I'm worried about locking in studs, right? I'm not worried about if it's 3 hitters, if it's 3 pitchers. I'd rather it not be 3 pitchers. 2-to-1 would be my perfect ratio, like 1 stud pitcher and 2 big hitters. That would be my druthers if I had them. But it doesn't matter. If value, especially if there's salaries attached, something falls in your lap where you've got Zach Wheeler for $15 and Spencer Strider for $5 or something like that, those are the guys you're keeping. And you just have to understand that it's going to be up and down when pitchers get hurt. You're going to get frustrated. But that's how I would approach this. In a perfect world, I like to build around position players. Welsh, any thoughts on this strategy on keeper question, which is a good one from Sean?
Yeah, I think how you said it is like where I'm at with it. I got confused at the end of the question where he's like, should I take upside guys or should I take guys like Strider and Ohtani? And I'm like, those are upside guys.
Well, I think the concept is like if there's rounds attached to them, right? Okay, if there's prices like salaries attached to them, okay, I get it. Whereas you're keeping, let's say, Nick Kurtz for $2 because you picked him up, or it's like a last round keeper because you picked him up on waivers. That I understand there's value in that, but there's not more value than Ohtani in the first round. Ohtani in the first round is the best value. It's a premium value because he's the best player on the planet. That's it.
I want the best players. I mean, it's
right.
3. I'm keeping the highest upside guys. If value warrants it, we can have that discussion. But I'm most likely going to say keep the best guys. If there's money attached to it, that's probably where the conversation starts, where you're like, hey, keep William Contreras at $4, or would you keep, whatever, Jazz Chisholm at $35? All right, now we can start having that conversation. But otherwise, I just want 3 absolute best players upside.
Right. Lesser known rapper J-Pac. Soderstrom's still a hold, getting rough. If you asked me this question 2 days ago, I'd have said, nah, you can move on. But now that Kurtz is hurt, Soderstrom's going to keep playing around. So I'm holding on to him now, especially. So it is getting rough. And this is what I try to tell everybody. Everybody hates when I'm Debbie Downer. Everybody hates when I say things like Soderstrom can't keep this up. He had 9 home runs last year. He's got 9 home runs in April. Guys, let's have a meeting here of the minds and understand. It's like the Kyron Paris unsustainability. He's shown you who he is. But we'll always have Paris Welsh.
I don't know. J-Pac's lesser known song, by the way, To Live and Die in Sacramento, too. That was a very popular song. To Live and Die in Sacramento.
That's a good one.
All eyes on Soderstrom. Yeah, I think you can. I still kind of want to hold. It's not great right now. He's hitting 240 in May. There is only 1 homer, and the strikeout rate has gone up. But the profile is still pretty phenomenal. And I do want to remind you, that is a ballpark. That is absolute hit. I mean, I think Joe and I did our home run derby out here, which we'll put the video out around All-Star Home Run Derby actual time. Joe and I are both putting homers out in that ballpark. We're based on it. So I would think Soderstrom.
We should actually, you know what? This is a fundraiser. We should challenge our friends on the CBS pod to a little home run derby. You and me. This time I'll stretch before. And work your Joe got hurt during I really didn't. I pulled a little side muscle there. I overswing once and it just it tweaked it.
So what is this going to be? Towers and Frank? If we can get Scott out.
Towers, Frank, or it could be whoever they want from that grouping. I don't care. Want to be Scott too? Come on, any of them. I can all 3 of them against us. I'll take the 3-2. Well, I'll play in the handicap with you.
I think we could probably play in the handicap. I'm a big guy. You make some good contact. I got some scary power. I think
that
we
EV
could do
still live, man. I picked up that metal bat after we played with the wood. Oh, it was a ball that
How it
landed.
Joe was the EV guy. I'm definitely the optimized launch angle guy because I was putting everything.
I'm too good of a hitter for this launch angle stuff. My home runs were always just, I got a hold of one.
You talk to Joe about analytics, and he just rolls his eyes, and he's like, "I don't need to hear about no analytics."
Bat, bro.
And
just let me go hit line drives everywhere. That's my problem. I just hit too many line drives everywhere.
I'm keeping my hands up. I'm bringing the bat up. I had good line. I think we would do well. But what do we got to go to New York for this then?
I mean, fine. Yeah, they're all there, right? Oh, now Scott's not, but at least we get 2 of the 3.
If we could get now, you know where you do it though is first pitch Arizona because you might get Frank and Towers out here. Then you come out here.
If that's organized, I will fly out for that.
I'll get us a park. I'll get us a minor league park to hit in.
Just I would go red eye just to do that and then fly back. That'd be amazing.
Who wants
it? I'm a man of my word. You know this. I'm a crazy person. I will do something stupid like that. Let's go to. I think Uncle Ted means Bowden Francis, not Braydon Fisher, or maybe not. No, maybe not. Braydon Fisher has a 45% crate and 0 walks this season.
Crate? Like kratom? Isn't that something that's not good for you?
Braydon Fisher has a 45% K rate and 0 walks this season. Do you think he is closer material?
You called it a crate.
I'm so tired. This is the 4th show I've done today.
That's a great crate.
At first, I thought he meant Bowden Francis when he wrote this, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Uncle Ted wants Braydon Fisher. Okay.
Oh, that's hurting me.
Sorry.
Does he have closer material? I mean, I would say like early out, like 95-mile-an-hour fastball, solid, good slider. I mean, the makings of a closer. You're looking like what is the fastball, whether it's a version of like a cutter or a sinker, and then what's your breaking pitch, whether it's like a split finger or a slider. So, you know, he's got those 2, but he's a lower 4-seam guy. So I actually wonder if they would want someone that throws 77% of their pitches as some type of breaking off speed if you want them in a closer role. But at the end of the day, you're asking like, does he have it? He has a 45% K rate and a 0% walk rate. Probably. I just don't know if you're going to see him in that. But it's a very good crate. It's a very good crate.
Yeah, he hasn't given up an earned run yet all season. So Gene is a PE teacher in South Jersey. Yeah, shout out South Jersey. Where in South Jersey? That's the question. Maybe Gene and I get together, hang out.
Are you North Jersey? Are you East Jersey?
I am what's called Central New Jersey. I am right in the crotch of New Jersey.
That sounds about right. All right.
And
you know what?
County, New Jersey.
We were probably, I forgot you're right next to Somerset, which you should go see Jazz probably like tomorrow or something. We were probably both right, by the way, because I said, it looks like you maybe did some, it's like a catching, baseball, football. He does it all because he's a PE teacher.
That's right. Does a little of everything here.
Maybe he could judge our home run derby. He's in Jersey. It's close enough, right?
Get over here.
Well, he's got to come
judge. Bro, I will put money on that one. I'm confident. Frankie's a pretty good athlete. I've been around Frank enough in my life. Frank's a good dude. We spent many times together. But you and me, I'll tell you what. We give them 30 outs. We'll take because there's 3 of them. We'll take 36 outs.
Oh, so we get a little bit. Okay.
Because we get a little bit, because it's just 2 of us. There's a fatigue factor, I'm thinking.
You definitely fatigue in the home run derby. I had a nice little run. I had like 3 straight, I think, and like we were getting them in the air. But yeah, you get fatigued after a little bit and hurt.
Tanner Scott or Will Vest rest of season? It'll be Tanner Scott.
Tanner Scott's. Right? Yeah, well, speaking of our crate with Braydon Fisher, because
I completely burgundied that whole one, and I'm not ashamed to say it. It's the 4th show. We're coming off the holiday. I felt so good yesterday, and today I'm tired already.
I'm going to stick with Tanner Scott, but I will say this is really bad. He has given up 2 or more earned runs in 3 of his last 5 appearances. Yet he still only has like a just over 4 ERA. I'm picking it because I think they will keep coming back to him. It's the Dodgers. He does have a 2% walk rate in some of these struggles. He's the type of guy a stubborn manager sticks with because it says, all right, the results are, Torey Lovullo is just lost, but like a Torey Lovullo would just keep going with. But it's it's almost a 30% K rate, a 2% walk rate. He's just giving up a little too much contact, and it's a bad run. Give me Tanner Scott. You know what? I'm going to buy on Tanner Scott right now for all of you that are selling.
You know what? Good point. I think that's the point. The big takeaway is buy on him. 26 strikeouts, just 2 walks in 24 innings for him. Sub 1 whip. Yeah. In fact, you know what? While we're talking, I might just send a trade offer out for him in my home league. Now that we're just talking about it.
Hell, I might call him. I might write him a letter.
Why don't you just call your friend Tanner Scott?
Dear Tanner Scott.
All right, let's get to the big boys here because the people dropping some big money here. It's Newski traded Jung-Hoo Lee, Hunter Goodman, Rooker for Kirby, Doyle, Rice. Outfielders are Churio, Merrill, and Wood. Ooh, that's a good outfield. And Jordan. So I needed to trade one.
Okay,
Pitchers
so you're
are
a three
now
outfielder
Cease,
league.
Hunter Brown, Schwelly, and Kirby. How'd I do my first fantasy trade ever? Newski is Newski. So Lee, Goodman, Rooker for Kirby, Doyle, and Rice. I feel pretty good about this deal. I like it.
It's a great trade. It's
I
a
think
good. I mean,
terrific.
so like if you want to play your if you want to play your value,
You had a hell of a
game that I
draft
liked.
too, Welsh. I mean, Newski
Yeah,
did-
Cease, Hunter,
that's a great
Schwelly, Kirby.
draft.
It's solid. Well, oh yeah, so now he has Kirby. So if you play the cross cancel game, let's say Kirby, Rooker is the most valuable piece. You traded Rooker for Kirby. I know different positions, but good trade.
Yeah, but theoretically, I think the same value at their respective positions.
Yeah, I know. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
You
I'm
know,
saying
I
like
think that's a good theoretical value, like one-on-one. Boom.
cross
Like, you already
cancel them
push.
or give the benefit to Kirby. Now Doyle for Goodman. I'll go Doyle, even some of the struggles. Lee for Rice. I think those are relatively close. I think this is a win. If you had a glut of outfielders, you added Doyle, who's got a lot of upside for the rest of the season. I love Ben Rice, and Kirby's the big win here. And Rooker really hasn't been at his level. Frankly, Rice and Rooker could have similar seasons by the end. That getting Kirby to go into that rotation, very, very good job on your first trade.
Very interesting for sure. And the pitching is hard to come by, right? So getting the pitcher, especially since you have the depth at outfield, it makes total sense here. And you figure if Churio has a good second half and Alvarez comes back healthy, you're rolling. Newski, good luck. I love this. I love the newbies here. Brooks. There was Harry Bonds for a second. Harry Bonds would have been really
Say something else.
Harry Brooks. How do you rank these SP if they are all called up today? Boyle, Abel, or Henderson?
I would rank them Henderson, Abel, Boyle. I might have said a little while back, I might have had Boyle at number 2. He's got some great just stuff numbers, but I was so impressed with Mick Abel in his his kind of comeuppance, because it's a guy that just kind of disappeared for a little bit. There's he's like a what's the word? Like God, I'm forgetting that word where it's like a sleeper. What's the hell's the word?
See, I want to help you.
Help me.
Kind of curious.
I don't want to
see
make
what
up like
word you're
12
gonna
different
make up.
words. A
See, that's the
post-type
problem, is
sleeper.
like,
Post-type sleeper. That's what it is, without faking a word.
I was really hoping you would come up.
He's
with
one of those post-hype sleepers that never materialized from the majors, or it's a very not popular, very often like rookie that just has come up as a post-hype sleeper. I think he's got great stuff. And I think, his velo is ticked back up. He's got an arsenal. I think that's a little bit more sustainable than Joe Boyle, who's got some walk issues. But Logan Henderson is like the guy at the tippy top of that list. Are you in agreement, or would you switch anybody out?
No, that was absolutely my grouping there. James, so in case you missed it, everybody, today live on Twitch, you can go back and watch video on demand. We had some funny stuff in there. I want to get to this Brandon's question in a second as well, but have a bunch of outfielder depth, and I'm looking at adding co-ace to the team. The current framework is Jordan and Bubic for Wheeler. I like Bubic, but I have concerns about the workload. Thoughts? If you have outfield depth, look, you picked up Bubic for nothing probably, or you got him at the end of your draft, and you get Zack Wheeler, potentially one of the top 3 starters in baseball, you do this. Like, you do it.
It's a great trade.
I'd love to get something thrown back. Like if you could get a Doyle who rules. If you could get like,
same thing.
If you get some kind of throw in that has upside, or like, you take a Stone Cold Vientos, right? Give me a hell yeah. Something like that. Like that, just something else of well, hey, could have some value in the next 3 months. I think that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying is if this is the trade that you do, I think you're fine. You got like the best NL pitcher, or arguably him or Paul Skeens. You got one of the best pitchers in baseball. Jordan Alvarez is massively talented, but is injured, has some injury problems. And the sweetener on top of it was you had to give up Bubic. So like, yes, you're giving up a little bit more than maybe like preseason value, but I think it's okay. Push. If you're talking, this is the framework, push for a tiny bit more to see if you can get another piece.
I'm gonna go full Godfather.
Don't put the Wheeler on the pedestal is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, ask, don't insist. You know what I mean? Like, and look for somebody who has upside, but not necessarily somebody who's crushing life right now, because that's just gonna destroy the framework of the deal. So Brandon, what he's referring to is earlier on, leading off today, we went into the injury lawyers, the conversation, and Welsh and I were, you know, the injury lawyers for baseball. And Brandon says he's watching the live stream. He came here just because he wants us to do it one more time because we were talking about the Walker, and that's how we started it. And that kind of, so I got one more in me if you do, Welsh, if you want to.
Sure.
Well,
what's our
this way?
Who's our player? Or do we even need a player?
I like when it's just generic. Like it's like, we're the best double play in baseball. If you've taken a ground ball to the nuts and it was not your fault, call Welsh and Pisapia. We'll get you your money. It'll be like a can of corn.
If you're ready to hit a home run with your legal team, Walker and Walker, they'll steal from the competition and they'll make no bad calls because they're out.
That's right. We're the closers you call on to get you your cash. If you stood next to a pitching machine and now you have 4 balls, call us. We'll help you get what you deserve. Call the number below.
If it's ABS or BS, we're not putting up with it. Walker and Walker, your leadoff attorneys.
Stay ahead of the count with us. All right, that's it.
It hurts my eyes. I feel like I become stupider when I do it. Like my face is drooping.
My eyes. We've got a fun jersey to give away too. Don't forget, everybody. Jose Ramirez autographed jersey. Just a couple days left. It's the 28th. This is the last chances. So drop your comments below. Subscribe to the channel because we want you to win this jersey. And ring the bell till it goes ding. Again, from pristineauction.com, a great place to get all your autographed helmets, jerseys, gloves, bats, you name it. They've got it there. It's the perfect place to go. I'm telling you. Father's Day shopping, make it easy. Go to Pristine Auction, get it now. Give you the certification of authenticity, the whole thing. It's a great spot. I was actually looking just yesterday over the weekend at some stuff down there too. I got the cool Tom Brady signed jersey over here with all the Super Bowl
Tom
things.
Brady signed jersey?
Yeah. It's not signed. It's a framed Brady jersey, and it's got all the Super Bowl things around it, and it's got the still photos from the 28-3. Because, you know, that's my favorite one.
They should let me. I've told you guys before. It's like a 25-minute drive from here. I should
right.
go, and they should have me tour the facility and give me something. Right there.
Slice of Sparta. Drop Landon Raup, Matthew Boyd, or David Peterson to stash Yuri Perez. Also, Matt Shaw appreciation moment. Can he keep this up? Not sitting against lefties? Yes, he can. He's a great hitter. He just struggled out of the gate, and they gave him a little breather, and now he's back. It's not Peterson. I still like Peterson too much as a pitcher. So not Peterson for me dropping. So you want to drop Boyd or Raup?
Well, the answer is yes. I'll drop any of them for Yuri Perez. But if you want to make the best decision, probably lean Raup. Because there's just so many arms in there that can kind of take away. If you want to drop Boyd, I think you could do those. There's a risk, bringing on Yuri, like how deep and how far can Yuri go and stuff like that. But I don't know. He's looked good in his assignment. Probably going to be 5 or 6 innings through the rest of the year. I think the upside is better than any of those guys, but probably Raup would be the one I would drop.
Gene works at Egg Harbor. Gene, I know where you are, baby. I know Egg Harbor. There you go. Shout out to Gene and all his students. Yeah.
What's that?
Harbor. South Jersey. It's near ACE. It's like past Tom's River. You go down the Parkway. Not exactly.
Oh, is it near Scramble Bay?
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is Little Egg Harbor. But that's cool. There you go. I love our people. Let's go do Michael for free this time. Walker and Walker promoting Richard Fitz for Kaisertrex. That would be the ultimate. Yeah, definitely. Let's go to Skywalker. Another Walker. Trade Albies for Hunter Greene. Oh, yeah, sure. In a second. Can you do it? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Good luck. I don't think you can. I want to know what this alternate timeline you live on where that trade is available. Logan Maxwell, is Bibee and Gallen worth keeping? I think what you mean is are Bibee and Gallen worth keeping?
You're going to correct. English.
Well, look, if Logan's going to wear a tie to the show, which he had, we're going to have different
expectations. Looks like very similar. I wonder, is he like the AD of that school?
Logan,
it's like the same
totally
background.
The athletic director at Egg Harbor.
Well, look at the background. It's like the same background as our boy. It looks like he's 100%.
He's definitely the athletic director or the assistant principal at the same school.
Let me phrase it a different way. they're both cuttable for the right guy. Instead of saying, are they worth keeping? Like, are they worth keeping? Yeah, I mean,
How's Gallen
maybe
doing
like
today with his 4 walks per 9 going on. How's that?
Well, I know he gave up 1 earned run. It's bottom of the 4th, and he's only given up 1 earned run. So my order would be to
walk so far in 4 innings. So that's
probably
positive.
try to Gallen over Bibee, but I think it's better phrased that they're both cuttable for the right guy, or maybe a streaming spot in the right 10-team league. Like some 10-team leagues, like clearly there's just going to be great players, but sometimes you guys will tell us these 10-team leagues you play in, and we're just like, how the hell are these guys all available? Baby. Yeah, so they're cuttable, but also keepable.
Lee G, I have Bubba on my bench. Teams that are in bad shape are making offers for him. What can you expect in return for Bubba Chandler, who hasn't thrown a pitch in the major leagues yet? And when he does, it's going to be for the horrible, terrible, no good Pirates, who have scored how many runs today so far for the Diamondbacks against the Diamondbacks?
1.
0. Oh, they scored 1.
They scored 1. Pirates are up.
1.
Bet is currently live today. Right now.
1 run. Look, let's play the game. You want to play the game? All right.
Okay, we can play the game, but I want to give one caveat though, because here's the problem. He said it's a keeper league, so the keeper value of Bubba Chandler is dramatically different.
I feel you. All right, so let's see if I can find. All right, bro. All right. Let's see. It's dramatically different. It's definitely higher. O'Neal, Cruz, or Bubba Chandler stay in his own team.
Oh, O'Neal, Cruz.
Okay. Riley Greene or Bubba Chandler.
Ooh, I'm actually pulling up my dynasty list here.
Oh, no, I didn't know it was that kind of party.
I think I actually want to look here because I've got. It's just taking forever to load. My gut reaction is I want to say I might have Riley Greene just slightly higher. So that in a dynasty that might be the relative range, though I'm not sure. I feel like you could push a little bit. I have Riley Greene at 64. And I got the Bubbas at 83. So they're in the same general vicinity. He's a top 100 dynasty player. It's like probably the most important thing.
Bubba Chandler or Seiya Suzuki?
Bubba Chandler. Seiya's like 30.
All right, let's do some pitchers here. Let's have some fun.
But again, in a keeper, I just want to point out now that I'm thinking about it, if it's like 4 keepers, valuations change. If this is dynasty. This is keeping everybody. So I do want to point out, the lower the keepers, the more redrafty it becomes.
Jesus Luzardo or Bubba Chandler?
Oh, man. I just bumped up Luzardo. I have Bubba higher.
He's had 2 good seasons. Well, he's having a great season. And 2 years ago, he had a very good season. Bubba hasn't done nothing. He's done ungats yet.
It's fair.
I like him, but he hasn't done anything. Here we go from Jason. Is Matt McClain still worth holding? Again, it depends. He's got the stolen bases. He's got a little power. You hope that the hit tool comes back around because he hasn't played in a year. I'm sure it's going to take him half a season to get back on track. So the question is, if you've held him for 2 months, you might as well hold him for a 3rd month, unless, as we've been saying, if it's a shallow league, would you drop him for Chase Mydroth right now? Or Brett Beatty right now?
Those aren't the guys. Those aren't the guys, but I would more easily say it is dependent on the person. I would more easily say Matt McClain is droppable if you want. He is still hitting under 200. He has a 32% K percentage. There's some really cool metrics in it, but his quality of contact stinks. So if there's something cool out there, go for it. It's probably not Chase Mydroth or would you say Brett Beatty? I want to a tiny
that's what you're looking at, or Connor Norby. Like some of the guys we talked about in the waiver wire video, which will drop today, by the way.
If there's enough good dudes out there, maybe you stream the position and get rid of stupid Matt McClain.
Brandon says, amazing fellas, best fantasy baseball show on the webs. Why, thank you. Please drop your reviews everywhere you get your podcast. Give us 5 stars. Look, if you guys watch the show or listen to the show every day, go drop a 5-star review. It takes 2 seconds to go out of your way. You're sitting on the can. Go drop a 5-star review. I love this show. It's the best, period. That's all you need to do. Thanks us for all the content. Been here since it was you guys and Bogman and podcast. Well, that's been a long time because Boggs and Welsh and I've been doing this for a long time.
Is that just talking about the Black Book show?
Probably. And you know what? That's we're talking about what I've known you for, is it 10 years now?
So yeah, it's probably about that because Bogman and I started in this league in 2014. So this is the 11th year. Probably met you a year after that. So we're probably into the 10th year. Because you and I were on
that show together. And that show was the first time, and we created a statistic called the Dinklage. You remember?
That's right. It was Chris McBrien's show, and then you went to you were on Sirius, and you had us on Sirius, and then probably 5-ish years ago, maybe 6, we did the Fantasy Black Book show for roughly 200 episodes or whatever, and some crazy football and baseball stuff, and then it transitioned to
real life, and I think that is why it's different.
I've known you for 10 years, and Bogman since I was 14, so actual best friends.
3 best friends that anybody can have. Debro was my friend before we worked together here. Same thing with Andrew Erickson. Same thing with Sealy. Like, this is us. Like, we have it the best. We took care of each other too. When we went places, right, we dragged each other along. My friend dragged me to Sirius. I dragged you guys with me to Fantrax and this place. Like, this is what we do. And when I got here, I drug all my friends with me. And you know what? None of them let me down because all of them are rock stars. And that's
a couple interesting notes on this. This is like inside baseball stuff, and we get to do that on this show, on this live stream. I would say 2 things that are interesting. A is, I owe a lot to Joe, because Joe is definitely the most, like, if you're loyal with, he has put me in really great situations, as has Jake Seeley. Both of those guys I owe a lot to. But I would argue that our host analyst group is probably the best of friends more than any other company out there. I don't mean to be like verbose about it.
No, 100%.
But me and Andrew Erickson have become great friends. I was texting with Debro earlier today. Joe and I have known each other forever. I mean, Pat is like the greatest. Like, I would say the actual friendship of not just coming on and doing a show is bigger on this network, and hopefully it comes through on the content, than any other network of actually
1,000%.
Being true friends, and not just like co-hosts that only talk, when they do that. So that,
and Kelly and Mayor too. And I know the Mayor stuff is it's a bit, everybody. Mike and I are close. That's why it's funny.
Mayor's pretty great. I hate to say it. So
he's having some kind of medical thing tomorrow. I said, of course I wished him luck. And I said, finally, that personality transplant we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. He's having that Richard.
That's what friends say. That's what real friends do. Vincent, but of course we wish him well. Are there any closers I should target if I traded away a package of Wilson and Stowers hurting for saves? Well, we just talked about on the Cubs. We just talked about him on the waiver.
Oh, Daniel Palencia.
So Palencia, Vest, like those are some guys, that low end guys. Bednar's a low end guy. I think that's what you're searching for, is like cheap saves. I mean, those are the names that pop.
Let me give you a better one, because Jacob Wilson, I think, deserves a little bit more.
Okay.
I think, and if you're who's the other guy who was thrown in? It was, I don't know who it was, but I would say either Justin Martinez was I just karate chopped the microphone if you saw that.
I've done that plenty of times, actually.
Justin Martinez might be a really good buy low right now because of you gave up runs and the Diamondback situation. Another one might be Aroldis Chapman, because Aroldis just had that blown save and people get a little bit dicey about the Red Sox situation. Those would be 2 closers that I would be looking at right now. By the way, somebody just said that Sandy is not looking great right now. We are in the end, so we have 2 innings in. I just want to give an update. He's given up 1 earned run. Man, velo is down, mile per hour, about on the fastball. He has 0 whiffs through this entire thing, and he has given up 2 hard hits with an earned run and a walk. He's living up to that 2.7 or that 7.9 ERA right now. It's more not good.
Let me tell you, man, it's phantom IL stint is coming. It's coming, kids. I don't know what it is. He's got to work on. He's got to figure it out. Let him go figure it out. If it's a mental thing, we already talked about the physical stuff. It's really frustrating right now. And I benched him. I started him every week, except that second start against the Dodgers, because I thought that was nuts. That was asking for trouble. And then ever since, I haven't started him. And that's just where we're at right now.
I can't believe it. I can be honest with you. Just like when you do like fantasy analysis and stuff, we get things right, we get things wrong. It's just like, you're like, oh, I was so right about this. Oh, well.
Speak for yourself. I don't know what this get things wrong.
This was so right. This was so wrong, blah, blah, blah. I can go back and I can like revisionist look and be like, oh yeah, this is where I missed this.
He was terrific in the spring.
But where did this come? Like this is shocking to me.
He looked dominant in the spring. He looked like Sandy. And we were like, well, he's back. Let's go. I mean, there was no reason not to think that Sandy would have hit the ground running, and he is run into a brick wall. It's been terrible.
Worst thing that could have happened for this team too, because of the trade. Like, you've got to move him off of this team because they don't value any players long term and stuff like that. What a trade asset he could have been.
Put him on the IL. You have to do that.
Bring
up Yuri Perez in 2 weeks. Put him on the IL. Bring him back for a starter 2 before the around the All-Star break, or even, keep him down there just working on stuff, and then that's actually probably not.
Just wait till they face the Pirates and then play him
Yeah,
that.
like
and
you
then
got to
put
look at
him
the schedule
down.
and line it up. Where okay, can he get 2 or 3 good starts at the end of June, beginning of July before the All-Star break? Because I think that's ideally what you want to do. Because there's not a lot of teams that are quote unquote out of it that have pieces to move. The Marlins are one. The Marlins have some pitching. Teams are going to start calling them about Weathers before they call them about Alcantara. Just saying, like that's the pivot right now. And to help you manage all this madness, there's only one thing. You know what it is? My Playbook. That's right, My Playbook. If you haven't already, download the Fantasy Pros My Playbook app or go to fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook. Sync your leagues for free. Optimize your lineups. You can look at the top available players on the waiver wire. You could do it all and set your lineups for all your different leagues in one place. That's right. Matchup ratings, top available players, optimal lineups, transactions, you name it, you've got it over there on My Playbook. Download the My Playbook app right now. Let's go to Life with Fife. Bubba or Jack in a redraft to stash? Oh, it's Jack for me. Caglione. He can help me every day. Bubba might be able to help me every 5th day.
It's just what you need. There's still no guarantee. I mean, like, very optimistic about Cags. There's still no guarantee. I mean, God, if he beats Bubba here, that would be crazy. That would be a wild turn of events.
That sounds like a wager, Welsh.
Yeah, that would be a wild turn of events. I think it is like what you guys, what you need. What is it you end up needing? If pitching is a little bit more, I think, once Bubba's up, he's going to be the guy. Jack could be tomorrow. Jack could be in a month. We don't know. But I'll lean Bubba Chandler on this one. I have like a ranking I do, and I have Bubba at number 1 right now.
Interesting question here about selling Suzuki. Now, I was on the sell Suzuki train a couple weeks ago because a lot of the expected numbers, right, were, I was like, you just can't keep it up. Like, it was just unsustainable pace. Now, in fairness to Seiya, the Baseball Savant page I'm looking at right now is bright red across the whole thing, right? But this is that part in the year where I start to look at, because we're 50 games in, my favorite thing to do is look at the on-pace stats. And I like to ask myself, is this player on pace for these stats? Am I going to look up at the end of the year and it's going to be this line? Here's the stat line right now. These on pace for over 150 games, right? 41 homers and 147 RBI. Do I think that's where Seiya Suzuki lands? No. Would I put Seiya Suzuki and a pitcher in a primetime pitcher in a package to try to pry away Juan Soto right now? Absolutely. That I would do.
Yeah, I mean, we do the same thing. If somebody is buying his pace numbers, sure. I don't know what the view on Suzuki is like from a trade market standpoint. The profile looks really great. If you're trying to also talk about like sustainability, there's some stuff in his game that feels pretty sustainable. By the way, his BABIP is under his career average too, which is a big plus. He's not overly performing as well as far as like pitch types, and he's pulling the ever-living crap out of the ball. I'll tell you this. I'll sell Suzuki because we might have some of the best parts of him happening this early part in the season. But if someone's not giving me like a haul, then I don't think I am. I think I might be willing to hold on.
He's only hit 21 and 20 home runs ever in his career in a season, right? He's already got 14. So perhaps we found another gear of Suzuki. That's fair. I know he's missed some time with injuries too, here and there. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at pace.
The pacing, there's no chance he's going to have 40 home. Like, I'm not by pacing.
What? Which means at some point it's going to hit a wall and there's going to be regression here, right? It's bound to happen. And my whole thing with the Cubs is this. When the offense slows down, and inevitably Pete Crow Armstrong's going to slow down, Seiya Suzuki's going to slow down because they're all playing way above board right now. And it's been great. The pitching has to carry them. And I'm not sold that the pitching can carry them down the stretch. I'm just not. Whereas I look at the Brewers and I say, once that team really starts hitting and Churio starts hitting, and they got Woodruff coming back and they can bring up Mizorowski and Henderson, that is a team that I want no part of come August and September with all those guys.
Yeah, I tell you, like, ironically, he's actually a second half guy. The last couple of years, he's performed pretty well against the second half, and he's way overperforming against lefties. He's hitting like 370, but he's underperforming against righties. Plus, he's like barreling the ball more. He's hitting it hard. Like, I think if you at this point, I could do with 25 to 30 homers on Suzuki, and I'm not sure the normal cost would make sense to trade off of getting that. But Josh, one of the most recent comments said, speaking of Suzuki and selling high, he said, I traded Suzuki and Holmes, I'm assuming Clay Holmes maybe, for DeGrom. He said, it's a keeper league. None will be keepers, though. So Suzuki wasn't going to end up being a keeper. So like trading Suzuki to get a DeGrom, that's an interesting move and trading another little piece. I know we're kind of selling on DeGrom a little bit.
DeGrom. I don't know if I want the DeGrom. Can I pivot off someone in that universe?
I think it's a solid one.
Give me Hunter Brown or something like that. Like I don't.
By the way, unfortunately, the Walker & Walker law firm is changing to an injury law firm because Christian Walker was hit on the hand today, and there could be something scary. So if balls are flying at you, Walker & Walker is going to get to the bottom of it today.
Let us be your athletic supporter. Call us now, the number below. We'll help you get what you deserve. Let's get to Josh's question here. Bregman replacement, Berger, Muncy, or Vargas? Vargas has been hot lately. I don't know if you're buying it, but like, I know it's the White Sox, and I know it's like we kind of like it's like the island of misfit toys over there, but he has been pretty hot in the last 2 weeks.
I'm going to take Josh out for Burgers because it is going to be Jake Burger. Jake Burger is starting to find some of that rhythm. 185 in April, May, 254. 254 Jake Burger is what we were drafting because of the massive power and that hitter-friendly environment. So we are buying Burgers tonight.
All right. I do like Burgers, although I'd chained around a real red meat very rarely anymore. So
you said you're not doing that after.
I'm not. I mean, like here and there, like I did have a real burger a couple weeks ago, and then over the weekend I barbecued and I did have a
but after you got your Bartolo Colon checked out, you're off the red meat.
My Bartolo Colon was just as healthy as actual. Bartolo Colon's going to live forever. You know this. He's going to be 87 years old, and he's going to be still throwing miles per hour more than age. I guarantee you.
He's going to be one of those, you ever seen those videos where it's like, this person's 104.
Like 60 years old, and he was throwing like 3 games in a row or something.
Those videos were like, how did you live to 104? And they're like, Dr. Pepper. I had a Dr. Pepper every day. And you're like, what? How did you do that? Speaking of another
tacos, that's how he got there.
I don't know if you saw this, but Manny Ramirez, who follows me on Instagram because we're very good friends. Manny Ramirez is not only going to be partaking in this home run derby coming up, but he just said yesterday that he wants a team to hire him, that he thinks he wants to work as a hitting coach for any of the 30 MLB teams. Says, hire me. I will make your players better. Legitimate shot. He looks good. He was crushing, and he's got a cage at his house. I think we might see Manny Ramirez maybe get with a team here in the near future. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
One of the greatest right-handed hitters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he should be in the Hall of Fame. Sorry. Sorry. Put them all in. They're all great. Manny was amazing.
I'll tell him that next time me and him talk.
Yeah, tell him Joe is a big fan. I love him. Michael Jansen, Yarbrough's first 2 starts a fluke or for real? We had this big discussion on leading off today about Yarbrough, and we're also talking about him on the the waiver wire show. I can't believe how low rostered he is after this most recent start. That was shocking to me. It's well under 25%. I think you got to just ride the wave. I don't know how long it's going to last, but again, if he continues to pitch like this, there's no reason to take him out of the rotation. And there's no reason to rush Luis Heel back either. So, I mean, if Yarbrough pitches this well and Schmidt struggles, right, you could even see Schmidt go to the bullpen. It's not the first time, right? That could happen.
Might rather have Ryan Yarbrough than Zack Gallen at this point. Zack Gallen falling apart again. Just want to point out to everybody, Gallen 4 1/3, 3 earned runs, and there are 2 men on in scoring position with only 1 out, and he's given up 2 earned runs. You know what? We'd be wrong about Sandy, but after the very first start I saw Zack Gallen this year, I immediately jumped into I'm done. He doesn't command his fastball anymore. The velo's down. He can't get away with his other stuff. Zack Gallen just continues to be just a disaster. It's going into a contract year too. So now more that I say it, I wanted to be optimistic, but you can't do this against the Pirates, man. Zack Gallen, go find a streamer in a 10-team league over holding on to him because it's dirty.
It looks like Christian Walker stayed in the game, so there you go. Here's one from Sean.
We stay in the game for you.
For you. Yordan Alvarez for Rodon. Fair trade. Theoretically, yes. As long as, I mean, look, Rodon's been terrific.
Man, I don't know. Is it probably fair because Jordan's hurt and stuff like that? I just think Jordan he's too good of a hitter that like Rodon is definitely playing over himself right now. I would rather Alvarez.
I don't know if he's playing completely over himself. Here's the thing. Rodon is pretty darn good, and the American League is pretty mediocre.
That's a good call. It is mediocre this year. It really is.
I mean, I put it like this on Saturday. We had a big conversation, Joe Ranieri and I, about, I said there's parity in both leagues. The problem is the parity in the National League is a lot of good teams. The parity in the American League is mediocrity. The entire Central is mediocre. Most of the West is mediocre. And honestly, I mean, it's like the Yankees and everybody else. So I think that makes him a little bit more valuable. Adam, thoughts on Ryan O'Hearn rest of season and possibly being traded to a contender?
Ooh, let's put Ryan O'Hearn up. I do think I like your idea here because I don't think people have brought it up the way you just phrased it in that he could be traded to a contender because this team needs to absolutely move off of some pieces because the Orioles are just disastrous and really they should be kind of playing more for the future. But he's hitting 340, 9 homers right now. Expected batting average is up. Best hard hit or second best of his career with low strikeouts. And, the Orioles have put him in a really good spot whenever he is out there to be hitting like 3 or 4. I think Ryan O'Hearn is kind of a decent bet. Even if he didn't come off the team, he's going to be hitting in a good spot. If he is traded, it's probably going to be a team with even better run support. So I'm kind of a buy on Ryan O'Hearn.
Seth, our incredible producer, great poll here. I totally forgot about this. Gallen and Sandy Alcantara, both former Cardinal prospects, traded in the Marcell Ozuna deal.
I loved Sandy when he was a Cardinal. There was actually, it's funny. There was this Cardinals prospect named Junior Fernandez who was with the Royals now, I think, or he was in spring training. And I remember looking at both of them and I was like, oh, Junior Fernandez is the starter. Loved his stuff. And I thought Sandy would be a reliever. Completely opposite. But people do forget that Gallen, the Cardinals have had a plethora of great prospects that they have given up on. Gallen, Sandy, how about Adolis Garcia, Randy Arozarena, all of these guys that they've given up on and have worked in other spots.
In the last
so what's
15 years. Their evaluation system is way off in the last 15 years.
Well, to be fair, the evaluation was good to get these players, but then whoever was making the decisions
the scouting and then the people who evaluate them to move on is a different grouping. Those minor league scouts are the scouts that go out there and watch, Dominican League and Puerto Rican leagues, and they, go to the College World Series and stuff. That's one level where it's like, we got to draft this guy. But then there's the in-house evaluators at that next tier. That level has failed the Cardinals.
Can I ask you a question? I thought I brought this up, but I don't know if I asked you this question. We were talking about trades, and we were looking at the Nationals Soto trade, where it's the Nationals got, Abrams, James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, Hassel, and then Yarlin Susana for Soto as a rental. Do you think that is is it that type of trade that makes it one of the best in history? Or is it something like where James Shields was traded for Fernando Tatis Jr.? The White Sox traded Tatis Jr. away for James Shields.
It's the latter because you're getting a franchise player for a long period of time. I don't think any of the guys,
so you think the Tatis trade is a bigger haul than
try to go through it again. Abrams, Gore,
Wood,
Hassel,
James Wood and Yarlin Susana. Four pieces that are in the majors now.
Yeah, it's possible that's going to be like a game-changing, earth-shattering kind of deal. You get that every now and then, where you get that one player move for a big blockbuster, where you get that one star, and then you get a bunch of guys, and maybe 1 or 2 become stars. You don't see that very often. Most of the time, those deals fail. Right? Like you get maybe one guy coming, through the system. But the Washington Nationals, on the other hand, have been one of the best at evaluating talents. That's the same organization that gave you Harper, and gave you Soto, and gave you, right. And they've gone through, for years now in evaluating talent. And it's amazing what they've been able to do. But
I will say as one
Tatis
piece
for Shields straight up is pretty damn good.
But also you got to remember, Yordan Alvarez used to be a Dodger, was one of those so I think some of the biggest trades in baseball history from an impact lopsidedness come from players that most don't know about, like the guys that I go see in rookie ball. It's like low A rookie ball players. Remember David Price, his big deal was Willie Adames, and no one knew who the hell Willie Adames was at that time. Fernando Tatis was traded when he was in like low A with the White Sox. Yordan Alvarez was the Dodger. To me, the biggest, most lopsided, and I guess that's more of what I meant.
Like Betts trade, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
Like
little bit
lopsided.
different. It looks horrific. That was kind of a contracty type of thing as well. But like just basic, like I'm going to sell off Tatis just for a James Shield, just for a rental. It's like, whoa, this is, I guess Soto was a rental as well. But I was just curious what you thought was more, what weighted bigger from a lopsidedness? Is it a trade like the Soto one, or is it a trade like, Alvarez as a Dodger going to the Astros or Tatis going to the Padres?
I think when you get the franchise changing player, and Tatis is a franchise changing, like that's a guy that's going to play there for 10 years, right? Like 15 years when all said and done. That I think that is the biggest game changer because you have that star, that guy, right? Wood might become that guy, but so far none of those guys are Tatis level players. Not in my opinion.
Sorry, I derailed us. We get a couple more
No, I
questions
think it's
that
a
I mean to
great
take away from
conversation.
our people. By the way, guys, Gallen stranded the runners, and Alcantara's gone through 3. No more damage, but 0 strikeouts so far through 3 innings.
Strikeouts.
So.
Ryan Sandberg trade too for aging Larry Boa. That was a good trade where you got a Hall of Fame second baseman. That doesn't happen very often. See, and then there's the blockbusters like the Padres and the Blue Jays where they swapped Joe Carter, Alomar, and McGriff. That whole like back and forth, and I think Tony Fernandez was in that trade. That was one of those fascinating deals that happened too. Jason Vargas has had this question up all the time. He is panicking. He's like, "Will you answer this?" Rehab start for Woodruff was awesome. Great. Are we finally going to get to see him next week?
I think they said he's got one more.
7 to 42 more rehab starts.
I think they said they want one more if all is healthy in AAA, and then he would come up. So you could still maybe see him at the end of next week, maybe.
Is Shane McClanahan going to play this year? That's a great question. Over under 0.5 starts for Shane McClanahan.
I am having my doubts.
I'm going to go the under.
Yeah.
I am going to go the under.
I think there's a chance that he plays
this year. I think there's a chance,
year.
but
we're not getting any good info.
For a guy, when you have 2 Tommy John surgeries, it's asking a lot. And things were, again, spring looked great. How good was he this spring? How good was Alcantara this spring? Everything was like, well, these guys are going to win people leagues. Now they're literally going to lose you leagues. That is such a dramatic changeover, right? For going from guys who can win you leagues to lose you leagues. That's stunning.
They'll lose you if you guys had drafted like right in the last couple of days of the season when Strider and McClanahan's value just like skyrocketed. There was a period of time where a lot of people got Strider, McClanahan, Alcantara outside the top 30 SPs, but it just didn't work out. So.
Nice job. Gene got traded Gallen and got CJ Abrams. Well, a couple weeks ago. Well, we have been talking about dealing them.
I need traded Story, he said too, which was one of my tradeaways from a couple weeks back. So,
well, look, great show, everybody. Liked hanging out with you all today. As always, don't forget to like the stream on the way out. It's very easy. Just go ahead right now. Do it. There you go. Like the stream. Good job. Also, subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below because the next 2 days we're giving away the Jose Ramirez jersey. That's right, from pristineauction.com. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell till it goes ding. While you're at it, make sure you download my Playbook app as well. Go to fantasypros.com/MLB my playbook, or just download the app wherever you get your apps and make managing all of your teams easier. And don't forget, join us live for leading off on Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's where we hang out every day, noon Eastern, live, Monday through Friday. Join us, hang out with us, talk some baseball. It's a good time. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Man, oh man. Brandon Woodruff. I feel like Bartolo Colon is going to make a start before Brandon Woodruff does.
Brandon Woodruff. I remember him.
I remember that first rehab start for Brandon Woodruff. I was 27 years old.